Hi, and welcome to the School Health Educators Podcast, where we discuss health education and how to best teach health ed in the K 12 setting.
Hi, and welcome to the School Health Educators Podcast. I'm your host, Lori Reichel. And happy new school year, everybody. It is towards the end of August 2024, and I'm really excited about starting up a new school year myself. I do love what I do, and hopefully you're feeling the same way. Maybe a little hesitant because there's so much we have to do to prepare. Like some people think that we don't prepare over the summer, but we do. And certainly I did this summer for my fall courses. And yeah, so welcome back to school. Some of you might have already started, yet some of you are starting next week. So, and as a reminder too, if you're looking for inspiration to help you when you're having a tough time or you need new ideas, please sign up to receive the School Health Educators podcast episode release notes, I guess you would call it. You can do that through your favorite podcast platform. So if you're doing something, even on like through the website, you can just ask for updates every week. You can get an email about it, or you can go on, I don't know if it's called iTunes or whatever it's called these days. The names change so much, but whatever you listen to your podcast on, please follow and ask for those updates so you can receive them. Because the purpose behind this podcast, the School Health Educators Podcast, is to help us, specifically school health education professionals, help us keep connected, keep us updated, keep us positively motivated, in which I want to tell you about the episodes that were already released and then tell you what to expect for the fall. So the rest of this episode is actually going to be the podcast episodes that were already released and what to expect. So I'm going to share my screen for those that were already released. And I love doing this podcast. I've met so many people, and I really appreciate everybody that's been on it. So there is one initial episode that was me talking about what this podcast is about, who I am. I've been in the field for over 30 years. I still could walk into like a classroom and get all excited about teaching young people about how to best take care of themselves, their minds, their emotions, their relationships, their bodies, etc. So that was released back in January, and I chose not to have numbers associated with the podcast episodes like this is number one, this is number two. I did that for the Puberty Prof podcast, and for this one, I just wanted to try a different format. So going on, back in January, there was the episode titled Ensuring a Safe and Positive Environment in the Classroom. Deb Tackman was a guest on that. If you are looking to be reminded, how do we set up the classroom? What do we do to engage our students right away? Please listen to that one. I love Deb. We've connected with one another here and there throughout our careers. She first presented at a workshop that I attended, and then I actually helped her as a health education consultant in Wisconsin with a skill-based formatting for the classroom. So ensuring a safe and positive environment is a great one to start with. And then I had some advice from some health education mentors known as the guys. This is what they call each other. And that was with the incredible Dr. Gary English, Dr. Darrell Lang, and Dr. David Wiley, who does have the annual international conference that occurs in January. And I think I have a link in that episode if you want to know more about that conference. Another past episode was talking about the dimensions of wellness with Andy Milne. So he is going to be presenting at New York State AFERD this upcoming fall. I have one of my t-shirts on from New York State AFERD, so I'm super excited about the conference. I always love New York State's conference in November. I just think it's a wonderful time to connect with colleagues, to see old friends and all. And Andy Milne's going to be there. I don't know what his talk's going to be about. I think it's a secret still. It's a safe secret. So, but Andy and I talked about the different aspects of wellness. So listen into that episode. And then from that episode, I actually chose to do a short episode for my Who is Healthiest activity. So when I talk about the different aspects or dimensions of wellness, I use the SMEEPs or the SMEEPs of acronym, and that's social, mental, emotional, environmental, physical, spiritual, occupational, and financial. Again, it depends upon the age group. I don't use as many letters for younger people. The old PMS triangle, that is outdated because it's so much more. Wellness is so much more. So in this episode, this mini episode of Who is Healthiest, I even included the activity that I've done. It's the Who is Healthiest worksheet, where students first work individually and then with a small group in the class, and they have to decide who of 5 descriptions is the healthiest. And the reality is there isn't an exact answer, because wellness and health is so much more than what you see on that piece of paper. And you can update that for your own students and stuff. I love that activity to see what my students already know. And then after they do it, we define what those dimensions or aspects of wellness are. Another episode went over the School Health Educators website, and Catriona Lenstrom, if I'm saying your name correctly, I hope so, Catriona, she's a superstar. She helped create the website of the schoolhealtheducators.org. So check it out. If you have additional resources that need to be on there, please let me know. We're going to add it. Diana Laufenberg, she was on an episode in March titled Making Students Think. I have to pause because this is what we're really about. It's not about just providing all these facts to students, but it's about helping them think, make the best decisions. How can they best manage themselves in their relationships? And Diana is, talking about helping students think in all the different grades. So check that one out. Superstar Diana Laufenberg. And a little side note, I'm looking at my website, the website right now, the schoolhealtheducators.org website. And if you want to have if you want to buy a School Health Educators t-shirt, it says School Health Educators in yellow, and then there's some red, orange behind it. And underneath it, it reads, Empowering Students with Life Skills, because that's what we do. So reach out to me at my Gmail, schoolhealtheducators@gmail. Okay, another episode, this is back from April, is talking about the National Standard number 7 with the incredible Jessica Butts. She's from New York State. I've gotten reconnected with her since returning, and she talks about her unit that she does at the middle school level. And then the episode after that, we talk about what I've done with helping college students understand more about that standard. So that one was called National Standard number 7 and the unit Lori's grad students created. Now, there are 2 episodes with the incredible Aaron Coleman. He's actually a former grad student of mine from the island of Long. And we talked about professional ethics in one episode and personal ethics in another. These are topics we as professionals don't always talk about. And it's something to make you think about, how do you make the best ethical decision? And then there's 2 episodes with Debbie Yell, who I met. She reached out to me, and it's really neat. She's from the Midwest, and I lived in the Midwest, so we had some really cool connections there. And she is very passionate about sharing the different resources available for health educators. So we have 2 episodes, a part 1 and part 2, where she goes over things like stuff for Health Smart and a bullying prevention program and other stuff. It was really neat to have a conversation with her. And then during the summer months, I played a couple of episodes from the Puberty Prof podcast. And those episodes included talking about analyzing influences, standard number 4, with the Judy LoBianco superstar. and she's going to be back this fall. And I also played the 2 episodes dealing with standard number 6, planning and goal setting skills, with Jackie Dubzinski. Some of you might know that name because maybe she taught you when you attended SUNY Brockport. So she knows skill-based health. She's really cool. In August, this month, we had some new episodes that I met people this summer, and that one was called, Getting to the Heart of Education, and that was with Dr. Stephen Shroka. I'm hoping I'm saying it correctly. It's one of my weaknesses. He was really neat because he talked about how he's been in the field for so long, and he's still so passionate about making sure you build those connections with young people. We teach subjects, but really we're teaching to young or with young people, and we have to have positive connections with them to best support their most successful learning. And then I had the pleasure of meeting and getting familiar with Miss Melanie Schrablum. I think I said it correctly. I'm so sorry, Melanie. She's actually a teacher that shared how she introduces herself the first day of class. And then she talked about some resources, including Ed Tomorrow, which I've heard about. I haven't used that much, but I'm really glad she brought it up. So Melanie, thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, so those are all the former episodes, and really cool people. If you want to be on an episode, please reach out to me at schoolhealtheducators@gmail.com. You can write a comment, like if you see me on Health Teacher Central, please reach out and do that. We do, though, have other episodes that are already recorded. And let me tell you what to expect beginning September. So I have one conversation, really 2 conversations, with a middle school health educator who's newer to the field. I think he's going into his 3rd year, I think. His name is Kevin Mason, and he talked about how he learned about skill-based health education. He went to a conference, and then he shared what he's trying out or has tried out regarding teaching analyzing influences to middle school students. And Kevin noted the difference between 7th and 8th grade. It's really neat because there are differences. The other thing that's coming up is the wonderful Judy LoBianco's recorded already to talk about attending a national and/or state professional conference. Judy is a former SHAPE president, and she is like so gung-ho for people to remain updated. So she's talking about, what to expect at a state or a national, whichever national conference you go to, and even how to prep a little bit. Erica Scott is also on a future episode. She's written a book about how to teach about consent, and she's going to talk about that. This book is really for health educators to utilize with young people. And then I have a few people from the resource UBeats, which I've never heard of before, yet it's a free resource for 6th to 12th grade health science teachers. Because sometimes health science teachers do teach health education, or some of us that teach health education teach health science. So they reached out to me, and we're going to have that episode talk about all the unique things they have. It's really neat. I wish I knew about it when I was in high school, but it didn't exist then because I'm older. Anyway, some other things, other episodes to look forward to is hoping to have a buddy of mine from New York State, AFERD, talk about the importance of connecting with a state and or national organization. And yeah, a whole bunch of other things are coming. I'm even going to talk more about how I teach skill-based health education, because it's not about the facts these days. We need to be making sure we're supporting the national health education standards, in which of the 8 standards, 7 are skill-based. 1 deals with functional health knowledge. So I'm going to be having future episodes talk about how you can get updated in your own curriculum, what you can do and stuff, and I'll have some examples for you. So with that, I thank you for listening in, and some reminders for you. First, please follow this podcast, School Health Educators Podcast. If you can give it like a thumbs up, 5 stars, that'd be awesome sauce. We are getting more and more listeners every day. Super excited about that. And also, people are beginning to watch more on the YouTube channel, which I love. Also, okay, so check out the schoolhealtheducators.org website. I had a colleague in New York just tell me about another great resource for how to start classes. And it's deals with Steve Hartman and showing those video clips. I've done that a lot in my career of starting something positive at the beginning of of a lesson, and then relating it to whatever skill the unit is based on. And last but never least, you matter. Folks, thank you so much for what you do. You're making a difference to children and youth, and they need us. So thank you so much. I hope that you have a great day and a great school year. Woohoo! So stay well, folks, and let me know if you need anything. Again, this is your host, Lori Reichel. Bye.